move here is the same geometry also?
No, when I move the stencil, here's what the stencil is in front of me. It's like a filter. When I move with normal navigation, I move around the geometry here. I move around the viewport. The stencil, when I move the stencil, it doesn't affect anything. It's only affecting the size and scale and rotation of the stencil itself. So while pressing S and middle mouse button, I'm able to like zoom in and out, make the stencil bigger or smaller. When I click S and click the left mouse button, I can rotate. So I can kind of orient myself to the model, and click S, scale this up, click B to scale my brush, click M to lower or decrease or increase the intensity. I'm going to use my sculpt tool, and I can start. I don't want to use that how do you call it, steady stroke anymore. And I can just start punching out. So I can see that I don't want this. I'm going to undo this. I want to push things in, so I'm going to hold Control, and that was kind of brutal. I'm going to go less strength. So hold down Control and start brushing around the stencil. Now I want to hide this stencil with Q. I can hide it. So you can see already I have something going on here. I can get some noise, this noise here. S to move it, so I can add this noise. Or I can go and use my imprint. So let's say I have this. So I'm going to use the imprint. So if I select, you can see that I made something like that. I want the opposite. So I'm going to use the imprint, but hold down Control. But also this is too high. I'm going to just make it really low. So Control. I want to do like one area that is a little bit more intense. I click and then I punch that area with this imprint using that stencil. I can change stencils. I can go to my get this noise. And click this. I think this is a wooden texture. So click Q to make it disappear. The imprint, it does already. Oh, actually, it does have the other. If I go to my imprint brush, it says use this stencil. Oh, stamp image. So let's go and change the stamp image to something else. let's change it to this noise, and when I do that I will have a totally different image. And with the shift tool I can just the smooth brush, I can, holding down the shift key, I can smooth all this. So basically I have this kind of texture. It goes really slow right now on my computer because I have that I have a problem with using the recording software, so it's kind of really slow. I could go really high in detail, but just to show you how, because now I still need detail to get texture. If I turn this off and create like a plane, you'll see create mesh plane. Press W and press Shift D and make it really high res. If I use the imprint on this one, you'll see that you're getting, see how they're much more, the geometry doesn't break, it's much nicer because we have more polygons. Like I think before I had this, this one, so I can go and like pick something else. You can see here how this translates when the geometry is more high res. You can see that the imprint. Of course, a lot of areas are, see why we have these stretched polygons, because again the geometry is not enough, and you can see here all of a sudden we pulled a lot of vertices up and then a lot of polygons get warped. That's why we have this problem. But if I press Shift D, I'm not going to have this problem anymore. So I keep raising the resolution, and I have way more, I increase the detail. You can see here how much detail we have right now. But as I said, I cannot really increase the detail in my computer because I'm like, it's really going slow. It's a laptop. I mean, you need, in this case, you need more memory, you need better graphics cards, but there's so much you can do. Let me delete this object and go back to the pillar. Edit, delete. Delete selected. I'm going to go back to my pillar, and you can see that I have a number of polygons here that are okay, but when the detail gets when the image is more detailed than your model, then the model gets kind of, it doesn't look nice because it doesn't respond correctly to the amount of detail that the stamp has. So that's why it starts kind of bending these polygons. But if I press Shift, let's press Shift D. Hopefully it's not going to crash. So now I pressed Shift D. It didn't crash. So I have a little bit better detail. I can actually go and work over that with this tool again. Imprint. It's a little bit better. It's still, let me make it less intense. Hold on the Control key. Go and actually over here, this one.
The depth of your stamp is determined by the pressure sensitivity of your tablet.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the tablet has its own pressure sensitivity, but it depends on how much. Um, now I'm smoothing a little bit here, texture. It depends how much, like, how much strength you have on the brush. So you have like a maximum strength, and in combination with the tablet's pressure capabilities, then you can regulate that. For the sculpt tool, I can just start. I'm gonna pull some stuff in. I'm gonna go control. I'm gonna pull these. As you can see, it's much slower right now. So see the stamp tool, it's actually pushing the geometry down. I made some texture and now I'm like kind of pushing it down. Hold on. And let's see, I'm kind of creating like a crater here, something like that. And then let's say I wanted like some very smooth texture on the side here. I would go and get perhaps like a stamp, like a noise, very soft. Let's see, get the imprint. Stamp image. So if we had something from Photoshop, we could actually bring it in here and use it. Like, I would go to the image browser and bring it in. But let's use these for now because I don't want to put that into this video that I'm making. Okay, so I have this stamp image, and let's make this really, really long. So you kind of get the point. Now, a better way to work would be, let's start with the other piece, is instead of like just experimenting right away on the mesh, would be to use sculpt layers. So take the pillar off, go to the base, add a couple of Shift D, another Shift D, a couple of levels, and I'm gonna go here, and now I'm gonna go to the layers. Instead of like just working on it, we're gonna go and create a new sculpting layer. So now what I can do is take the imprint, take some stamp, and let's start making this whatever random texture here, and so I'm making this base texture, and now I can go to the sculpt layer and make it disappear, like make it disappear